I'd go Jew all day, every day. Food's great.
Oh, the weddings are awesome. We do
fantastic.
the chair dance. I always say that, the Jews always say for holidays, every holiday's the same. They tried to kill us. We survived. Let's eat.
I think this is just going to drive Greg crazy.
Oh, crap. What?
Guy in Montreal. He's fighting a parking ticket that he got in front of his house last week. So early in the morning, the city installed signs for a brand new bus stop. So this wasn't already established. It was a brand new bus stop. Again, right in front of his house, which kind of sucks.
Oh, that does.
Awesome.
People just waiting for the bus in front of your house. Now, the sign is actually in his front lawn. So they just...
How's that allowed?
I wonder if they asked.
So the crew finished up about 7:55 in the morning, and then just 10 minutes after the sign was put up, parking enforcement came by and put a parking ticket on the guy's car for blocking the bus stop.
Wow. So unfair.
But the car was there overnight. Like, so before the bus stop even existed, before they put the sign up, and the guy says that, Greg, nobody was given any advance warning about the bus stop coming. So there was no way they could have known that they wouldn't be able to park there. And the city agrees. They say they never update property owners, but...
Oh, we agree that we do it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But the ticket will not be reversed. They say once a ticket is written, there's nothing they can do about it.
Oh, that is such crap.
We don't have the technology to reverse this.
To say whoopsie.
There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we will do.
So if you go to court, you can dismiss it, right? So can't we just save the whole like dog and pony show of me showing up just so you can dismiss it?
Yeah, just do it.
Just dismiss it. What do you mean there's nothing you can do about it?
Of course you can.
Like you wrote it.
Yeah. Unwrite it.
Yeah, tear it up with your hand.
If you propose that for like a sitcom plot, they'd be like, no, that's stupid. That would never happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a conference. This is years ago. I was doing a contract negotiation, and I was talking to the person who runs the company, not this company. This is a different company.
Yeah.
And we were talking about something, and they go, yeah, we can't do that. And I go, says who? Is it a law?
Mm-hmm.
And they go, no. I'm like, well,
it's a policy.
So in other words, it's a company rule.
Right.
Well, then
the company that you run.
You're the company.
And you're agreeing with me that it is a good idea. And they're like, oh, no, it's a great idea. And I think we should totally do that. And I go, well, then can't you make that decision? It turns out after talking to the lawyers, they could.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Interesting.
They always can.
Yeah.
You can implement your own policy.
When you're doing a contract, you can literally write anything into it that you want.
Right.
Right? As long as both sides agree to it.
Yeah.
It could be an exception to a rule. It could be anything.
Yeah.
As long as it's legal.
We want a popcorn machine with movie butter in here.
Yeah.
Write it in.
That could be written in. Now, is that standard? Is that standard boilerplate contract language? No.
No, I wish it was.
So, like, what do you mean you can't do anything about the ticket? Of course you can. You wrote it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can absolutely change that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. My friend's house had like this no parking sign. And then so one night, my friends and I, we went and cut it down in the middle of the night. And they didn't put it back up for years.
Nice.
Well, yeah, because it's not like they're checking.
Yeah.
It's not like they're rolling around their little golf cart thing going, well, there's supposed to be a sign there.
I swear there was a sign there.
Yeah.
It's sad how noteworthy it is when anything run by local government actually works.
Oh, yeah.
It's noteworthy. I got a parking ticket once because I parked next to a parking meter. It was 6-something p.m. and the big sign on the street said metered parking until 6 p.m.
Yeah.
On the meter, on a teeny little plaque, it said it went till 7 p.m., for example. So I got the ticket, and I wrote a little letter saying, like, hey, I took a photo of the sign. The giant sign says up until 6. The teeny little plaque in the meter says up until 7. Somebody actually got that, read it, wrote me back and said, we're so sorry for our mistake. We're taking the ticket away, and we will fix the signs, and we'll fix this. I'm like, this is the most noteworthy thing of my lifetime.
Yeah,
Was that the 80s? Because that ain't happening now.
No.
Or
you're not known for lying, but that sounds like a lie.
Or, Greg, was it a dream?
Yeah.
No, it was reality.
So it wasn't the 80s and it wasn't a dream.
No, and it was, I'll never forget it.
That's
it was
crazy.
the only time that anything worked in local government.
Customer service is out the window
This
now.
guy's contesting it. He's annoyed that he has to spend his time and energy on something so stupid. I mean, agreed.
It's insane.
And now he's got a bus stop sign on his lawn.
Right.
Sucks.
Yeah.
How mad would you be, Greg?
I'd be so mad.
But you know, it's just going to be some homeless person's house.
Pretty much.
Does it have a bench?
You're going to have a new neighbor, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What if they put up a bench?
I think the dumbest ticket I ever got, I was driving into New York City back when I worked there. So, I mean, I was driving through this every day. Yeah. I know how the system worked and, you know, And so anyway, there's a Port Authority cop. Everybody does this merge. It goes from all the toll booths down to however many lanes are open. Sometimes 2, sometimes 4, depending on which way the traffic's flowing in or out of the city. And so everybody has to do that whole, one side, the other side,
The zipper.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's a free for all in the beginning. As soon as everybody comes out of the toll plaza, it's a free for all. Everybody's trying to jockey for position to do like a 1 lane, next lane, 1 lane.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a Port Authority police car, no lights, no emergency lights on, and all of a sudden he's pulling me over.
Huh?
So get through the Lincoln Tunnel into Manhattan. I'm pulled over, and I go, you know why we pulled you over? I go, I literally have no idea. I have no. And he goes, you didn't yield to an emergency vehicle. I'm like, your lights weren't on.
Yeah, right.
I said, I understand, like if the lights are on, you're supposed to pull over fire trucks, police cars, ambulance, things like that. School bus, you're supposed to stop for the light, but you don't stop for a school bus if the lights aren't on.
No, they're messing with you.
Every time you see a cop, you're supposed to pull over?
Yeah, and because I didn't, I said, it's a free for all. So he's like, were you just trying to go and you didn't have the lights on. He's like, doesn't matter. You're supposed to yield to an emergency vehicle.
How bored was this guy to do this?
So I got this ticket. It was like $300.
Oh my God.
I had to take a morning off of work to go to court because I was going to fight it because saying, hey, the emergency lights weren't even on.
Right.
What do they call that? The bar.
Yeah.
And they upheld the ticket.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because
Shocking.
I couldn't prove, they said, I couldn't prove that the lights weren't on because the officer was claiming the lights were. I'm like, no, they were not.
That's why I got to get these dash cams, man.
No, well, this is, 2000, maybe 2001.
They did you dirty.
Yeah, that was the dumbest ticket. And, I don't want to say I'm an apologist for the cops, but I'm a supporter of police officers.
Yeah.
I am never, unlike Greg, I don't have a bad demeanor with the cops when I talk to them when they pull me over.
Made up narrative.
Greg gets crazy, right?
Remember all those times you were with me when I got pulled
my
over?
God.
Wait, zero.
I see Greg being a dash cam guy, but it's so unsightly in his car, so he wouldn't install
You can't even say the word police without him getting hostile.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Even when they're not around.
No,
how come he can do that? And meanwhile, he's like this and this, and he's on the tablet, and he's like,
oh, you speaking facts?
see?
Spin facts.
How come Greg gets so upset when he says facts? Cop pulls you over for a cell phone. Meanwhile, he's got a computer, a phone, a radio.
14
smoking,
keyboards.
not signing, not making a complete stop.
He's got a
Eating a
PlayStation
sandwich.
in there.
Yeah, exactly. Watching a movie.
That's right. Hot tub.
Eating a bowl of soup.
Yeah, he's on the treadmill in there.
Yep.
I know.
Got it all going on.
The
man.
truth hurts, Woody. I get it.
I mentioned that story about how that dude, Speedy Gonzalez,
Love that guy.
he got arrested for robbing multiple Walmart stores. And then we got into the conversation about Speedy Gonzalez canceled or not canceled because of stereotype and everything in the cartoons. And apparently, not so much. I guess Gabriel Iglesias did have something to do with. He
The
voiced him
Renaissance?
for something.
Well, I think they were supposed to do a Speedy Gonzalez movie, and then Gabriel Iglesias was going to do the voice, and then that wasn't happening because Space Jam 2 was coming out, and I think he might have been in Space Jam 2.
Didn't he voice it for that?
I think he might have.
Yeah. Anyway, his cousin though, and I completely forgot about that character, Slowpoke Rodriguez. Hey,
I vaguely
Speedy.
remember.
Yeah. Hey, Speedy.
What's up?
You know
names.
You know that guy was token for sure.
Slowpoke.
Slowpoke.
Rodriguez.
And apparently, he was in Space Jam 2.
Oh, sweet. I never watched it.
Oh, saw it so many times.
Here, Slowpoke.
I know people worship Space Jam 1.
Well, that's the one.
Which is me, not the slowest mouse, which is you. Maybe Slowpoke is pretty slow downstairs in the feet, but he's pretty fast upstairs in the cabeza.
That's going to be my new go-to line.
And I guarantee you the people,
downstairs in the feet.
the people that are trying to cancel Speedy probably weren't Latinos.
No, it
They
never
never are.
is. It
Dude,
never
every
is.
person, I mean, Latinos, at least that I'm surrounded by, are very self-deprecating.
Dude, Latinos and
It's
Jews,
so funny.
I think, have
Big
the best sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's why I said if I ever had to choose a religion, I'm not a religious person, but if someone, I choose not to be.
Yeah.
But if it was one of those things, nope, you have to. I'd go Jew
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Hard
Food's
J.
great. You know,
Food's pretty good.
most part. There's a lot of I like a lot of Jew food.
Yeah.
And then it's always fun.
Yeah.
Like the get-togethers and the bar and bat mitzvahs were always fun. I think I just remember a lot of stuff from being a kid and
that's what we
weddings.
say.
The weddings that I've been to.
The weddings are awesome. We do
fantastic.
the chair dance. I always say that. The Jews always say for holidays, every holiday is the same. They tried to kill us. We survived. Let's eat.
Yeah.
That's every holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll also talk about overanalyze. I really hate how, and it's certain people. Like you're right. Certain people feel the need to go back and they look at everything in the past through today's PC lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was reading about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which I was always too old for that.
Yeah,
By the time that came out,
after my time,
right? I was already aged out of that.
Right.
Oh, I was so into Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Go power.
So that came out in '93. I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
over
was
it.
too
Still
old
in
for that.
junior high, it was massive.
Yeah.
And there are people crying about how the casting could have been, quote, so blatantly racially insensitive.
Yes, it
talking
was
about
so
it.
blatant.
What do you mean? It was
If you-
actually
The Asian girl was the yellow Power Ranger.
Yeah, the Yellow Power
What?
Ranger was played by an Asian.
But they had
The Black
masks
Power
on.
Ranger was played by a black person. The writer, Tony Oliver, says it was such a mistake. And there's a
What?
whole episode on the show. It's on ID channel and on Max. It's called Hollywood Demons.
Oh my god.
And the episode is called Dark Side of the Power Rangers.
No one even thought about
like,
that.
dude, come on.
how would you know?
That doesn't even come close
Yeah.
to the problem with the Power Rangers.
They were like,
What, am I murder somebody?
we're like, oh, it was
Oh.
actually diverse. Like they had a diverse cast of people.
And
but
also,
why-
they wear
Yeah.
helmets. How could you tell who's who?
But why'd
Oh,
you
no,
have to
they-
make the
they weren't
Asian
always in
actor
costume.
the yellow
Oh.
one? Why'd you have to
Right.
make the black actor the black one?
Well, let's just stop making TV then. We can't get it right.
Shore Menace walked 41 miles to Disneyland with this dude over in the UK. He ran on a treadmill for 24 hours.
Nah, dog.
His name is Joe Pritchard. He's 23 years old. He did it for charity. He ran 104.6 miles
Damn.
Ooh.
and would have done more, but he eventually lost control of his legs and he passed out twice. His
On a
friends had to
treadmill?
help him move. It took several days to recover, but hey, for his efforts, he raised a whole $5,000.
Wow.
Like people couldn't have ponied up more for a
Yeah.
guy who just ran 100 plus miles.
That's
He could
why
no longer feel his legs.
people ask me like, oh, did you do a charity angle for your walk? And I go, no, because
No.
I don't know, dude. I can't ask people for money anymore. Even though helping like other charities and stuff like that, like I can't do it.
You can,
You
but I just
know?
don't understand like why everything has to have a charity tied into it.
Yeah.
Like I think people,
I just think like,
I know radio people, every idea that comes up,
Mhm.
well, what charity we get?
what's the
It's-
charity angle? No,
Sometimes you can just do it just to do it. Just for like Menace walking to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Just
It was
for,
a personal
for
thing that
funsies.
he
yeah,
wanted
it was
to
just
do.
it was for our stupid
Yeah.
it's something I
April
just wanted
Fool's
to
thing.
do, and then honestly, I kind of don't. Even though I want to help charities, I'll go help promote or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think I'm comfortable anymore asking for people to donate money to things. I'm just not, because I think like if people want to donate money to something, they'll just kind of do it on their own.
So for the charity thing, because there's plenty of stuff like you're getting
Yeah,
people to
but-
go out to Raising Cane's and spend. So it's not about, hey, here's something cool, spend money.
I think like if people want to spend money or donate money, like that's their decision to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it always?
Yeah, but I don't.
I think you know what it is. I feel like so much of the tie-ins to charity are
There's so many
not
of-
genuine.
There's
Yeah.
so many of them. Yeah.
They're doing it to either try to look good
Sure.
or
Virtue
because they feel
signal.
like just because they feel like they have to. It's like
Or they say a portion will be donated
Well, yeah.
to charity.
Yeah.
Like how
Yeah.
much?
It's
I
a
want to know before I give
huge-
you.
Yeah.
There's a
business.
charity that I love called Power of Sight, right?
Mhm.
And their charity, and I love supporting them. And they'll just like they handle everything on their own, and they'll just like do pop-ups, and people will show up to their events, and they'll get free glasses, right? But I'm not saying, hey, come donate money
right.
so they can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
free
understand. I
glasses.
understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
But if people want to feel helpful, it's great to have something that feels vetted. Like if I just randomly heard that, I'd be like, I don't know, is that legit? But
Yeah.
because you're telling me, then I believe you. So it's good to have a voice and have something,
Yeah.
that people can direct their goodwill toward.
And I think that's more of the mentality now too, because every time everybody talks about it, You check out the grocery store. Would you like to round up for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever?
we don't know
Like,
where that's going.
Everybody's asking for
Yeah.
something. Like, it feels like it's just a constant
Everywhere.
ask.
So we can make it part of
Everywhere.
our tax write-off?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And so
apparently
we can
that's
look
not
good.
true.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the
Apparently
money. So the money they collect, like
Yeah.
if you go to the grocery store and they say, "Would you like to donate?" Whatever, they don't get to use that as a charitable tax write-off. They have to disclose that they raise that money through customer donations. So it's not a tax write-off for
Was
them.
it ever? Because somebody...
They can match it. They can whatever they add to it. Whatever they do to match.
Somebody we both know with a microphone used to rail against it, and now I'm going to have to let them know that it might not
Yeah.
be as nefarious
Well,
as he thought.
Maybe they used to do that,
okay.
and they closed a loophole because they
Maybe.
figured out that people were doing that.
Yeah. Like all of a
But-
sudden, like, yeah, it's from us.
Oh, there was
Yeah.
a guy, he did mornings at one of the radio stations that I worked at years ago, and that was his big thing. Every year, he would do a thing, and it was all going to charity.
Yeah.
But he would get all these T-shirts that the company spent the money to have printed up. He'd go out to a place, and he would sell the T-shirts for, $15,
Right.
whatever it was at the time. It was all cash, because this is before everybody just using
Yeah.
Square
PayPal,
and
yeah.
digital stuff. So he would have bags of cash from these events that he would go do. He would go deposit it into his bank account, and then he'd write a check to the charity.
Uh-huh.
So he
And
can
then-
get the write-off.
Correct.
All right. Look at this guy.
That's
Correct.
Crazy.
And he's like, well, even though I'm not getting paid to go out and do these events, he figured he was getting the write-off. And that was
Right.
going to be his, quote, compensation.
Oh.
Yeah.
For- And then he got in trouble for doing
Oh, well,
Wasn't there
sure.
like
seems
a,
like a good idea.
wasn't there a DJ out of New York that had like a giant ranch that
Oh,
all
Don
his-
Imus.
that all his listeners paid for
Yeah,
allegedly?
Don Imus. Yeah, the
That-
the
but
Imus
they-
Ranch.
They made
Oh,
it
that's
like they
right.
made it a charity. I don't know the details on it, so I can't speak
Yeah.
on it too much. But
I think it would benefit every charity to stop using a couple of phrases
Oh, okay.
that turn me off instantly. Number one, raising awareness. I'm very
Yeah.
much aware of breast cancer. Thank you.
Same.
And empowering.
Mm.
That's so vague that it's a turnoff.
Yeah.
We're empowering.
Yeah, I
you.
want
Like,
research. I want medicine. I don't want my money to go to raising awareness.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's free.
We're
I'll be
quite
honest.
aware.
The turn off for me now is attaching strong to everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Whatever's happened.
Woody
Whatever-
Show strong.
Blank strong.
yeah,
This strong. That strong. We get it. Like let's find something else.
Yeah.
Well,
Like Boston Strong after that whole
That's how it
marathon
started.
bombing thing
Yeah.
happened. That was the first one I remember where it was like
Same.
strong. Boston Strong. Fine. That's theirs.
Now it's like got milk, got ad space, or got, now everyone uses
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So 9/11. Never forget.
Yeah.
Okay. Boston Marathon. Like every event
done.
needs its own slogan.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Another thing,
You can't just glom on to somebody else's strong.
yeah, that cuts me off. From,
New rule.
Like, let's say I do donate to a charity, which I do yearly, not for just tax write-offs. If they start following up with just like constant mailers to get
Yeah,
me
you're
to,
out.
You're out. I'm like,
You're
you're
out.
wasting so much money
Yep.
to like try to get me to donate even more.
And after I've donated to you, stop sending me emails constantly asking for more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm good.
I got you.
Unsubscribe.
No, thank you.
On the walking and exercise thing, the guy with the marathon, $5,000, which is where this conversation started. I had to backtrack to figure out how we got
we
to this
got there.
conversation.
Yeah.
Now, this is my kind of hiking. I am not a hike person, but I would
we
do this.
advise against it, actually.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Several mountains in China have been installing escalators
Oh boy.
so anyone can, quote, hike up them. And
Sweet.
so it's like having
Let's go.
a gondola style lift, but it's a literal escalator. Look them up, like mountain escalators, China,
Awesome.
right? And so they say it's better than a gondola because a gondola just shoots straight to the top. These escalators, they give you a chance, multiple stops along the way to take a break and break from your hike.
Cool.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and see the
Oh my
sights.
God, look at that. It doesn't even
Yeah.
look real.
You know what it reminds me of? If you've been to Universal Studios Hollywood, they have those
First thing I'm
escalators
thinking.
47 of those
Yeah.
to get downstairs.
that go from the upper lot to the lower lot
Yeah.
of the park. And
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of that, but on a much bigger scale.
I wonder if these things ever break down. They got to be weatherproof.
Probably.
Take the stairs, everybody.
Officials will tell you it's so that people with mobility issues and older folks can get to the top to see the view without having to hike up. But really, it's
That's
just
not who
because
it's
people
for.
are lazy.
Yeah.
The reaction has been mixed. The critics argue that having the escalator takes the fun out of hiking. What fun?
Puts the fun in hiking.
And also, can you imagine how much it costs to install an escalator on a mountain?
Nope.
Dumb money.
No idea.
Dude, that's got to be insane.
Over $2 million.
For what? How many? Like a 5-step
I
escalator?
know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but if it's
All I know is if I'm going to get like 3 yards of concrete for my backyard, it's like $50 million.
Yeah.
Totally.
those are one of the big disappointments in life, though. You get to a place and it's not working.
Yeah.
You're all-
my God.
You look and you're like, oh, it's the one going upwards. That's not working.
Yep. Well, whatever I needed up there, I'm just not going.
Yeah.
That's
The
so true.
worst. Or those ones that are like flat.
I love those at the airport.
Oh,
At the
the
airport,
moving
yeah.
walkways. Those are awesome.
People
And
mover.
when those aren't working, you're like, damn it.
Damn it.
I just got to do the thing I was already doing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even when those aren't working, I'll still walk on them.
Really?
Yeah, for
Even if
sure.
they're not
Yeah.
moving,
Really?
I still
Yeah.
walk on those as
Why?
opposed
Yeah.
to, I don't know.
Just so you stay on track.
Some of
dude.
them are kind of bouncy and foamy, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's more comfortable on your foot.
No, like not the ones
Some
in the
of them
airport.
are.
The airport ones are just the straight.
Oh, I've gone over like
Yeah.
rubbery ones.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
They're like kind of almost bouncy.
I do.
But when those
Coming out of the
things-
haunted mansion.
Yeah.
But you're so disappointed when you get there and you're like, oh, it's not working.
Oh.
Like the one time I went to Pearl Harbor, the water was too rough and we couldn't go onto the monument. I was like, what? That's why I'm here.
Right.